Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with more testing of Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice 10.33 with Third Reich Events, whatever version we'll be eventually calling it. I'm not sure once we put it out there. So we are going to do the testing here. Those watching live on either YouTube or Twitch, and if you're watching this stream there, if you want to get it in segments, it will be shown on YouTube, and probably the recordings will be a slightly better quality, and we'll see how all that goes. So if you want to do that, and so based on last weekend's testing, we found double events, we found some strategic effects not working, and they should be here now. And all I've done before starting this live stream, and we just crashed. Oh, okay, well, I'm not stopping anything right now. We got to see if that is a problem or just something going on with live. Yeah, USA man, yeah, school being out, I would agree that that's a good idea right now, at least in most places. I think it should, I don't think you shouldn't stop learning. I think the teachers should get on Skype or whatever application and make sure the kids show up and work. Oh yeah, we're expecting crashes, people. This is not going to be, and I don't know what made that crash. Something I was doing before, or just simply trying to slide the slider. Okay, strategic effects is here. Okay, well, no, that's working. Okay, could be something to do with other things. So yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Last time when we were doing the test, we came here, we couldn't see the chromite, aluminum, rubber, and other things here, these tradable resources, which used to only be, oh, we just had another crash. Oh. Okay. Oh. Let's restart this. I don't know what is okay. Let's do some testing here. Okay, or some working on things. And we will be going over to this screen so you guys can sort of see what's going on here. Yeah, the stream is not crashing, but I am just getting a crash with the game. Okay, events. Okay, so what I did was, I think I did that right. Let's strategic modifiers. Is this what I was looking for? No. Triggered modifiers. Is this what I was looking for? Yes. Okay. Well, okay. Why am I not? What am I missing to not see that? Oh, here it is. Okay. There's the other version of it. Common. because this is one that I went in and changed. Yeah, this is the right one. That's the, oh yeah, that's the one I want. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get the first I want to move mine out of the folder there. Well, no, you'll just copy it out. And we'll go back to here. Cancel. Copy. Yes, I wanted to make sure I was replacing that. Now we will again come up and start this. So this is now the unmodified version of triggered modifiers, the TRE version. And hello, no need, no need. Yes, yes. Cool old car. Thanks, AKB, as well. Oh, is Lumberer here? Yes, hello, Lumberer. Lum. No, it's... Well, I don't know for sure what's causing the crash. Meaning maybe we had been getting a crash if I hadn't opened those modifiers up. I don't know. All I had done was just make sure that I could start the game beforehand. Okay, so strategic effects is what it's called here. Now we are, okay, this is the unmodified version by TRE. What I went in and changed was to be able to have, oh, you're not seeing it here, I don't think yet, have both the Axis effects, Italy and Germany as the Axis. And oh, here, oh, Pact of Steel effects, sorry, that would be it. Pact of Steel effects, and then later the tripartite effects stack, as opposed to one replacing the other. That's what I did, and maybe I screwed up the file in saving it. So, well, that tells me if we haven't crashed with this, and I'm going to open it again just to see, because I can't, well, I can put out, but I don't want to put out a buggy product that we know is, if you just do the wrong thing at the wrong instant, it's all going to go, you know, poop and not work. Okay, so there we go. We know we have that. Now, before we start doing some of the events, we're going to see about setting up some trades. Well, actually, yeah, let's see if we can do, well, fuel would probably be the best to maybe start. Okay, that's impossible. That's likely. Okay, probably the money that they're effectively starting out with. Now we would rather be filling up all of our fuel resources than selling it off, but okay, that's impossible, so we'll click back on that. Soviet Union doesn't have the money to buy. USA barely does. Australia, Poland. Now let's look at, where's Czechoslovakia? Oh, yeah, let's Czechoslovakia before maybe they're getting too angry with us. They have money, some. Because we'll be doing things that make them go a little not happy. Same with Poland if they have. Because even a smallish trade in, oh, no. Let's just do that. not much money. And well, what are we going to be doing? A lot of... Okay. There we go. Romania, let's see if we can... How bad? Okay. Okay, I think that'll be it. Why was the alliance between Germany and Italy called the Pact of Steel? I don't have an answer to that question. I don't specifically know. Now, Axis was sort of, I think, turning on an axis, you know, like a wheel's axis turning around here in the center. I think that's where that comes from. And I'm not even sure who started using the term Axis, whether it was members of the Axis, you know, Germany and Italy, or outsiders. The Pact of Steel, you know, I'm sure it's to evoke images of strength. You know, I mean, that just, you know, the Pact is strong as steel or something, I presume, but I don't have a specific, like, who came up with it and what it specifically meant. You know, you got, like, what, you know, Hearts of Iron kind of thing, or the old Hearts of Oak song, because oak and ships were considered rather important. Okay, now we're going to come over here and look at our laws that we can do right now. We're going to go to mixed industry. We are going to go to, okay, we can't go more to war economy yet. Okay, that's fine. We're going to adjust these some. Now we're going to come over here to economic spying. Let's do short-term investment the first year, and then the next, what, 3 years at least, you want to do long-term investment, but the first year you want to do short-term investment. After the war gets going, you may also want to do first short investment, may depending on your thing. A politician from Hungary, if I remember. Oh, okay, interesting. I did not know that. There are, trust me, many things still for me to learn here. Now it's no need. Why is mustard and other chemical weapons never modeled in the game? Maybe it's because it would need to use the nuke mechanism. Historically, it was an option, but early MAD prevented its use by UK. Yes, MAD is in mutually assured destruction. Okay. Well, the policy from, and for multiple reasons, the policy from Paradox has been no war crimes. So you can use and you can model mustard gas and other chemical weapons that were used in World War I in a World War I mod, because it's not a war crime in World War I. By World War II, it would have been considered a war crime, because they don't want to get into other, you know, war crime situations. As to, well, if we're good, the Japanese did do biological weapon experiments, and maybe a bit more than experiments. But I'm not going to go into that right now. Just suffice to say they were doing stuff like that. Outside of that, chemicals, really to a point, I would say chemical weapons are a tactical more than a strategic weapon, because you mentioned nukes. This is sort of an interesting topic. I think if they were doing dropping chemical bombs on cities, sure, some people would die, but I don't know that it would have been appreciably more than what we're dying already. It probably would have been terrifying, because people would have been terrified of doing it. But especially, now it did happen in London, if I'm not mistaken, but especially what was happening in Germany when they were doing the massive bombing. There were firestorms, and I think more people died, not of being burnt or heat, but simply the lack of oxygen, because the firestorm would just suck all the oxygen, say, out of a bunker. And so the people would suffocate in there. Now, there may eventually, and this is because they found, bodies that had died that had weren't burned, weren't, heated up very much. So they know that they were dying from lack of oxygen. They probably, and then probably other ones then later burned too after death, but it wasn't. So that was pretty, I'm doing good, OCB. Thank you very much. Is mustard gas still used in warfare? Well, yes. There were chemical weapons of various types, and I believe mustard gas was one of them. I would have to look it up. In the Iran-Iraq war, it did turn into a rather World War I style trench affair war. I think both sides used it, but I can't be sure. Chemical weapons generally, but mustard gas, I believe, was part of them. And there was use by the Iraqi regime of chemical weapons. I know by the Kurds, and I also think, or against the Kurds, and I also think against the southern Shiite, the Marsh Arabs down there. Now, would you consider that a war usage or just simply a population terror usage? I don't know that, but there was definitely chemical weapons used in the Iran-Iraq war. Well, I think what they were talking about, or it was chlorine gas in Iraq, and I would even have to say that there may be, I even hate to sort of say some of this, but there may be some evidence that some of that was false flag stuff. I'm not saying it was, and that may, in Syria against the rebels. I don't know. I just don't know that. So I'm sometimes hesitant when it's a hot button topic that I'm going against the consensus, and I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy, but I'm not quite sure. And that was mostly if I think it was chlorine gas, which of course we use chlorine in our water. I believe the LA, or the general LA area water system, they're dumping slightly more chlorine in it recently because of the current thing, but in very low dosage it's just fine, Yeah, there's people that have thrown shade, to use the kids' term, on some of that. That some of the findings that might not have been quite as cut and dried. And hello, Arno, how you doing? Okay, so let's see. We want to come here now that we got a few more of these things started up. We're going with national recruiting policy, balanced, and leader's backstory. I find this to be hey, thanks for following or hosting, as Arno's doing great. Yeah, we're going to skip this all together. I find that silly. Okay, strategic trade resource option. We're going to hit that. I don't, now that we've sort of fixed at least some of it. Okay, we got those. Very good. Let's see if we can do a few more trades here. We just did with them. Soviets. Don't have the money, the USA. Well, we can maybe sell them fuel. Oh, no, that. There we go, that would be good. How much can us? 3.6, so let's do that. Okay, we want to do that now. Send help to Abyssinia, do nothing. Let's not do any of those just yet. Okay, we are trying to have a few things pop up. Part of what we're testing here is how well TRE is balanced with the rest of the model. Let's speed this up because I want a day to go through a little bit faster. Yeah, okay, that's sort of what I was waiting. Okay, we've lost these big negative effects, which are good. I don't know that Italy is losing ships like mad, so I don't know what's going on with that still. Let's activate this budget reserves. We need to be careful, yeah. Yeah, some people complain about this and I forget. Naval build speed, non-victor submitted. Special treatment, naval build speed. Oh, I'm not sure what Germany closed hangar. I'm going with they did a closed hangar. Hey IKB, do you know what armor treatment Germany used? Whether it was special treatment, I'm guessing. I don't know if you know, if you're paying attention. Hello, Arno. Okay, I haven't been following too close to USA Man and OCBs. The Middle East, the country borders are not based on anything, but for the most part, based on anything other than previous colonial empires and end of World War I, Sykes-Picot, and other sorts of agreements. One nice event to have in the mod would be Berlin to Basra. Oh, no need. It's no need. There's no need to add it. It's already here. There is an event for the Berlin to Basra, or Berlin to well, actually, I think it's more of a Berlin to Tehran railway. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah, Berlin to Tehran. So there is that. Didn't Germany have Krupp's? Oh, is it Krupp cemented? Okay, so let's do closed hangar cemented armor. If they had added Krupp in there, I would have known which one most likely. We'll do your worst. Opal Blitz. Allow invasions. Yes. 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 Okay. Okay, I was waiting for the let's, because notice we've jumped up massively in ICs. Yes, Krupp. Okay, good. And okay, we could go to the war economy. That was the other thing I was waiting. I think with even the negatives, particularly in peacetime, more consumer goods, this is on the whole 25%. It's a 15% overall ICs increase from there, with only a 5% increase in consumer goods needed. So I don't know exactly. I guess we could always do better math and better observation. Okay, shortage. Naval build sheet, all resources, ship armor production. Okay. Yes, Commando Superior destroyed. Okay, don't know what that's going on. We need more here. Yes, I knew we would. Okay, I think I don't want to go to the bigger draft at the moment. Industry prepares for war. I think that's just because we went to the war industry thing. Okay, so here now, after all of that, I want to come over here and do the black ice start. And we're going to go normal. And we now have a bunch of difficulty settings here. The national focus is going to come up in a moment here, but let's just go normal. We're just doing all these in normal. I don't even think in this playthrough, because who knows whether, well, I'm not saying we're going to crash like we had been earlier, but we very well might. And though we will make saves, so we might just go back to a save once we get, well, once we get through all this starting BS, we'll make a save. Yeah, and the computer looked really good. I'm curious who long was, or how, I presume, I guess it's how long was the draft in Germany in 36. Okay, we have, oh, okay, we're also waiting for this. We've lost the Great Depression effects. I almost forgot about waiting for that. I don't know. Hitler starts to feel safe in 35 when they start the draft. He is worried about the army as being, you know, when their own governments worry more about their own army than they do about foreign invaders, there's problems of various types going on in your society. Because an army won't overthrow the government unless the government has really lost confidence. The people have lost confidence in the government, really. But so Hitler wants to see, or once you can do the draft, then he starts drafting lots of SA men into the army. So he starts to feel that the army won't be a major revolt against him. Okay, so yes, we will do that now here, now that we've also got rid of our well, let's see if we can do some more trades for just the moment. Okay, you know, we're even bigger here. Good, that's probably what we really needed. Okay, and we're going to be hitting really negative into some of these. So can we start? Nope. Okay, Soviet Union. Okay, let's see if we can throw them a big pile of supplies. Nope, they're not wanting our supplies. How interesting. Okay, well, can't trade again with them yet. They want fuel, maybe. I don't want fuel enough to buy it from me. No. Okay. We'll do reorganize the war ministry because we don't care about that right now. 100 days longer. Okay, IKB, we will do the Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. Bigger guns, he was lobbying for me to do that in the next, but we don't want to do that just yet. Okay, we've sort of been avoiding doing this until now, the national focus organizing. Because we want the biggest economy we can at the start here to do Reich economics here. So we want to look at this here, and you, in my opinion, you don't want to do that. You want to do these, and this will get us 2 heavy manufacturing industry in Berlin and 2 regular ones, 1 in Berlin, 1 in Hanover. Might as well get the best benefit out of that. What does Brazil want? We give them money for rare materials from Brazil. Okay, we'll do that. And let's see what we can do with the Netherlands. So there you have, well, no, rare materials, yes. And for oil, are we still can't probably other way. Where's Romania? Why am I just not seeing it here? I guess it's Am I blind? Probably. They have a deficit in oil right now? Let's do it by name. I can more or less. Okay. Yep, they have a deficit of crude right now. Okay. Now, we could have lifted the blockade of that. That might have that may be what we should have done before the national focus. That might have been enough. I don't know, some industrial capacities in Saarbrücken might have been enough to push us to getting another factory, but I don't know. Is the essay like the National Guard in U.S. terms of role? No, absolutely not. National Guard in the U.S. There are state militias still to this day, and there was definitely state militias back then, which are different than National Guard. And the National Guard in the USA is different than the reserves, because there are also reserves. Probably a bit more than I want to go into trying to describe it as compared to other types of reserves. Okay, well, regarding Antarctica, New Suabia, is it modeled without AG or base would be feasible, or just propaganda? Well, there is no Antarctica on the map, so we would have to place an Antarctica on the map if you were to try to do that, even whatnot. Historically, they really didn't know what was down there. Is it possible to build bases down there? Absolutely. We have some down there now. Could they have built them in secret? Well, if nobody was paying attention, nobody sailing ships around there, yeah, I guess they would. Would they have been secret underground huge labyrinths of things? Yeah, probably not. But Nazis like super mega projects, so maybe they could build some sort of thing down there. I did have an event that I cut, or maybe a couple of events that I cut before releasing TRE, dealing with the new Swabian expeditions, and sort of want to put it into another mod that I've never created. I want to either do it right in one of two forms, and so I really haven't looked at. This is more like a personal army for the Nazis, used to beat up other political parties, protect the Nazis, recruitment drives, maybe. Oh, it's much more than that. Pelosi, much more than that. Hope I'm not butchering that. Yes, Happy Easter, or will be tomorrow. And so it is much more than that. It becomes, well, eventually in the final version, it's the Volkssturm. I mean, the Volkssturm is heavily set up as okay. We are already needing steel. So what we're going to do here, and this is sort of some of the stuff we need to do here. Well, right now we can build more. Okay, more steel refineries. We want to do 2 there. Come up to here. Yeah, in Berlin we'll do a steel refinery and a industrial capacity. I think they can both be built at the same time. When you're talking about these other ones, such as this, it's just building one at a time. Because obviously once you get one completed, you need to complete another one. Okay, this is so low right now. We can see base is just because it's repairing. Oh, and revolt risk, maybe it's revolt risk more than repairing. Well, we'll have the let them eat cake event here soon. This is some of the stuff. What I have done, well, I'll get to it when we get to it, I guess. I think there's, yes, up here. Okay, that will be some of what we need here. Now let's move all this to the top. We want to build up the Reich's economy right now. Yes, I probably clicked on some of these just recently, but looking for ones with heavy industrial capacity to expand first, at least. We want to concentrate our industry where it will be most effective. Concentrated industry in a provincial sense, in one province, is a good thing, because if we're going to build things like, I'm saying we are, but if we're going to build things like anti-aircraft guns, it would be better to have them in places where concentrate the factories beneath them instead of just spreading out everywhere, because the AI will notice and will bomb other things. Ooh, that's a good oil. Let's increase the oil there. Germany did and does still have oil production. Is Black Ice stable? In a relative sense, I think so. Stable as the base game? Hell no. Well, very good. Join the Marines. I think that was the best Germany could do for anti-air. Would be some ships moored, anchored at some of the out-of-the-way Antarctic islands to resupply U-boats and surface raid. That would probably be the most practical. Hey, Brett. What are we saying? Someday you'll have good internet. Yes, we do hope so. Okay, now let's see about pushing these to the top. Okay, so we have all of that. We're going to plunge this down much lower. Like that, at least, to start with here. Oh, and we have not, that's another thing I should have already done, but we can start and do it now. Instead of waiting, we want to do Schacht in charge of economy. I think he really sort of was. We're putting Goebbels unhistorically, but in charge of Ministry of Security. We're going to put, oh, frick, leadership, political intelligence, research efficiency. Yeah, I guess so. I think that will be it for changes at the moment. Now I've noticed this here. This used to be unchangeable, and I don't know why they allowed that to happen. That probably would have done a little better for the starting decisions. Now we're going to come here, make support brigades. Yes, yes, we don't want those events to fire twice though, so just click them once. Independent branch, yes. And independent Kriegsmarine. Leadership, let's do diplomacy way down. Lock that into place. Espionage way down, we'll have some. And officers, we don't quite need that, particularly not yet. But we will get some of that going. Okay, well that will get us a lot. We don't really want to at this point push beyond our current technological research efficiency, I guess would be the right term. Seaport capabilities, secret, there's nothing there that we can or want to do at this moment. Let's come down, get some of these going here. Well, we may want to undo this. Let's up just a bit more. Or we could do long-range submarines now. The best, yeah. Just checking the military police. Capital ship raiders, yeah, we'll do that. Fighter pilot, most of this. Well, we'll do naval strike tactics and nav tactics. Okay, we're just about come back to these, are sort of the more important to get done first. We might do some 37 technologies, but I don't think right now we'll get much bonus out of rushing it. Only minor detriments, I think. Yeah, we got a tiny bit more here. Yeah, 500 kilogram bomb. I can't get the medicine technical for it, otherwise it takes too long. Yes, that's great metal. Or was it only okay. Well, the war definitely pushed medical technology going forward. Regarding Prussia, Kaliningrad, the German population was resettled in what part of modern Germany? I don't know that there is a specific part of modern Germany it was resettled in. It's the political effect so far, because Prussia were the core of the German. Now, yeah, but here's Prussia. Prussia's Berlin. This is East Prussia, not Prussia. Prussia even had territories way out here too. If you look at the hodgepodge of everywhere that Goering becomes president of Prussia, I think in 1933, or right about there. Prussia is a state within Germany, and it, I think, was the largest state. I could be wrong, you know, maybe Bavaria or something like that may have had more geographical territory. But this is just East Prussia. They're sort of eastern expansion area. So yeah, the Hohenzollern, which is the monarchy of family of the Prussian king, is you know, here in Berlin, and that is still in Germany. So yeah, I don't know that they get settled in any particular place, but it is still a bit of a thing. Okay. Oh, what do we have? Inefficient research already. Oh, elastic. Did I that's in Blitzkrieg. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked that one. Oh yes, no, that's 38. Yeah, okay, we'll drop that. I don't like having that little red thing up there. Not that I can't stand little red things up there, but I keep wanting to check it to see if there's something I should stop researching, even if I decided on a particular tech to push ahead. And I've done that. This needs, okay, at least level 2 in these, so let's do that. There we go. And we're going to do motorized support. Let's start this. Unlike the okay, this is motorized, so what do we want to do? Engineers, yes. Reconnaissance, yes. I think we get 4 of these if I remember correctly. Let's just do artillery, and let's do anti-tank. Okay, finished, done. And for just non-motorized mix support, let's also do engineers. Recon, artillery, and yeah, anti-tank. Done. Okay. Get through that. I do appreciate that. Build up the historical Luftwaffe. Okay, historical build up. We want to do that. Not that it's anything wondrous, but okay, now because we've put more units on the map as being part of the Kriegsmarine HQs and Goering's little empire, we need more supplies. Oh, aspirin? No, I think it predates it. Bears? We do see bear. Maybe it's them. Okay. This is sort of what I was waiting for. Sturmabteilung der National Socialist Deutsches Arbeiterspartei. Okay, the essay. It goes through phases, and I'm not going to spend a long time on this just because, but since it was asked about, the essay is the party's army. It goes through phases as to what it is. In the early days, and I'm talking some of the earliest days before even Hitler goes to Landsberg prison, the essay is, well, and later run by Ernst Röhm, and Ernst Röhm is sort of a government plant, though he is an anti-Prussian. We were just mentioning before, hey, Tippett, an anti-Prussian. So he is an Army High Command. He wants to eventually, okay, so, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. The essay is part of, there were a bunch of Freikorps as well as veterans organizations. The Stahlhelm becomes the last major umbrella. It's around starting in the beginning, but it eventually takes in all the other veterans organizations that are sort of militia type groups in Germany in case Germany's invaded, because it may not be like France invading and they think they can stop it with all these Freikorps. No, it may be just somebody like Poland is trying to grab up more land, or Czechoslovakia is trying to grab up more land, or somebody like that, and they want to have a reserve of troops that are around, and so they use different political party militias, as well as various Freikorps and other things. The essay is part of that. Jump ahead a ways into, say, the early 30s before they come to power. Yes, they're mostly now mass organization of fist brawlers in the streets. Later on, after this is done, and even before then, they are an election, get out the vote personnel, not necessarily by intimidation, but by just helping allies, people get to the polls. And there's like one photo that I could think of that's for like the 1933 or 32 or whatever elections going on. There were a bunch in the early 30s, and you have like 6 guys standing in a row. And they all have placards. Those are sort of like, if you don't know, because not everybody knows what things are, also just English, they're sort of like posters that you wear with the thing in the front and the back of you. You've seen them sometimes called sandwich boards. And they're all wearing different sandwich boards. One's a communist, one's a socialist, one's a, the DP, the sort of, Hindenburg's party, and one is an SA man with a Nazi party one. They're all standing there in the group. So that's not intimidation. They're not trying to intimidate anybody in this case, because they're all just standing peacefully next to each other, just with an advertising sign on there as to who to vote for in the upcoming elections. They're all, so they have a lot of these functions. Now, what we'll be seeing now after that sort of changes, they're doing other functions. They are staying a militia as a reserve, and we're going to get this here. They will be a reserve militia, but they also we'll be seeing this more, a training organization for the army. So they do a lot of that too. I once tried to bomb Baku from Romania to reduce oil barrels. Yeah, I would just try to take it. And hello, I'm just going to call you, okay, El Servo Vulnerado, I'm sure I'm butchering that, is available for the stream. Okay, you're on Twitch. What you can do if you want to do that, jump over to YouTube. Because I'm streaming live on both, and I think you can get lower quality on YouTube for the stream. I think. I'd love to have a report, or that might El Americano accento. Yeah, I'm sure. Hello, Martek. So you can watch from either one, and they will be showing up on the screen over on YouTube, the Twitch chat as well, so you'll sort of know what's going on. Watch wherever you get the best connection, and I think there are different things going on, and yeah, so this is forced on you in TRE because it was already pre-existing, and you're going to lose 400 manpower. Bye-bye. But there will be events to give it back to you later on if you don't mess with it. This is a bit of a white elephant, and we can just see here going over some of the details of organizations of the SA. So you get, and I also made some nice pretty event pictures. The Ritter SA. Okay, so we get all that. That's ate into our supplies, which I don't like that. So what we're going to do here is, okay, we've been building way too much of that. So we're going to, well, let's just reduce that or get that up there very quickly. We'll fine tune that shortly. Well, let's reduce that down. Okay, good. And I'll be able to see your chat over there as well. I'm through the restream thing, though I'm watching both screens. Probably notice the Twitch chat first, but I do see both on YouTube, and I will, if anybody, I am alive on Mixer, not that you want to go over there, but just it's there mostly just in case somebody's cruising Mixer and looking for something to watch. They might see. Testing goes fairly well. We had one problem. We've gotten around that. Okay, now what can we do for any of these? Oh, Japan, they want steel, but we have a deficit in all of this. Okay. They want supplies, and we should be able to, well, no, we're in a deficit of things, so we don't want to do that just yet. And so we're going to reoccupy. This will give us some rare materials, more manpower, officers, gain national unity. So, yep, but piss people off. There are other nations and individuals out there, so yep. Oh, yes, yes. And that's the other thing. I have been told that, yes, I can go into all of these damn units and set them, and I probably did that. If somebody wants a lot of busy work, and I would have to do it, well, I don't have to do it at all, but if I was going to do it, I'd have to do it for 2 orders of battle. This is a very correct order of battle for the SA, as correct as I could possibly find with modern research on the web and going to some fairly high-level sites. And now these brigades, here the SA Sturmabteilung, or whatever their various levels, but we're just calling them SA brigade, varied in strength, and I do not have strength numbers. I more have unit sizes, the Standarten. So not all Standarten are of a uniform strength. Oh well, best I could do. You would more than likely misuse it. Oh, what are we talking about? What 262 here? I don't know. Oh, Mixer. So yeah, so you don't want those to upgrade. Part of the reason you don't want them to upgrade is all these units will disappear, but they will be replaced with something else. So they will get replacements. Now that we have the Rhineland, we can do more research. Let's do direct fire units as well. Let's go over to this map. Okay, high popularity, very good. No, I don't like these. Okay, sure, we can do that. This is the current stats. They will be changing because most all of these will be basically removed and replaced. They are not good units. You don't want these units, but you also don't want to get rid of them right now. You don't want them. The only time you might want them is if say the war, you get in a war over Czechoslovakia, which could happen with TRE. Presumably most of you would make a save and go back to the last save. It's only that, but they do have good suppression, so they are decent political suppression units here, and I hope that was a good enough look. You can pause and look at the stuff if you want to. And there are also Ritter SA units, which are SA cavalry units. You can, and if we were going to be actually sort of really playing this, and I'd probably do it off camera because it would be boring as hell. Let's see, I hope this works right. You can come here, and I have included, not enough because I haven't found enough, but there are a lot of SA, and they have descent impact reaction here. A lot of commanders to put in units. And where I knew that I had a historical person, I put them in charge. Again, I did a lot of research to dig into these SA stuff. Eurobomb, if he had it, it would be misuse. He would misuse it, I see. Yeah, might be. So what I am hoping for here is, now that we have this, okay, let's see our revolt risk now that we have the SA. Okay, well, we have the SA. That is helping considerably. I know we'll have a let them eat cake event. But let's just shift some of that over there. And yeah. Okay, we now have some positive supplies. We're still way out producing what we need, but that is a good thing. Units of poor supply, yes. Okay, sort of waiting for this to talk about it. Okay, I've gone in and done some rebalancing. I have, and there are stuff that goes off this map that I'm doing the hover over. I think it used to go to the top beyond it. I have removed the elements that reduced industrial capacity, either heavy or standard. And I've removed in Germany. That's the only place I was reducing it. And I've removed the events that removed resources. I'm more comfortable with removing the resources than the events because we're already facing massive deficits here. When I did this, when I made the mod for Black Ice, this kind of stuff, well, with oil and maybe rares, it was happening, but not steel and not coal at all. So since we're facing that, I've removed that. Now, also do note that there are, like, New Haven, Connecticut, New York, Chicago, and Detroit are getting some industrial capacity as part of this, so it's not just affecting Germany. And we're still doing, you're still losing some infrastructure. Don't pay attention to where it says lose or gain. Pay attention to where it says minus, or there's not a plus, but just a regular number. That is what it is, because it says lose 1 industrial capacity in Dresden. No, you're not. When it says lose infrastructure level -1 Schul, the -1 is an actual -1. So I don't know how to fix that. It is removing some strategic resources around, but that. So we have that going, and the USA is now offering, we give them supplies for money. Great. And we're still, now part of what this red in supplies is, because obviously we can look here and we're way out making it, is that they've just like, oh shit, we've got all this SA to supply, so it's like sending supplies out from Berlin to everywhere and dealing with all of that's going on. Okay, yeah. Well, let's increase some, because I'm looking where, even with all of the other stuff, we want to increase some of our steel capacity here. Now that we are doing a little better, and we've gotten some of them. Again, the buildings only affect the province they're in, these types. So you want to find where you have steel already, and enough to really make it worth doing. Once you've maxed out some of the lesser or the bigger sources of like steel or oil or whatever, then sure, go to the, if you know, particularly like oil later on, go to the lower level ones just to eke out a little more oil or something. That's fine. I'm not right now at least going to build coal plants because I don't think it should be needed. I'm not quite sure what effect is pushing that down, whether it's just simply a lot more. Okay, well, I know I'm hitting things multiple times, but I just, as I'm cruising around, can't really remember where I clicked entirely. Okay, well, let's increase our factories. Yes. Yeah, we can increase Leipzig's. And heavy industrial plant out here? Yes, good. Okay, so let's come here and move these to the top. And then move these other resource ones to the top. Make sure we are doing the resource first, then the industry, at least mostly. Oh, I probably hit the wrong one there. Okay. Then the industries. What is ideal route for Germany to produce industries-wise prior to the outbreak of war? Well, traditionally, I built industries for the first 2 years of the game. That is traditional for me. Now I am needing to build steel factories, and so we're doing some of that. Okay, we'll wait for several of these to pop up here. Germany imported particularly high quality steel from Sweden, so I could see some level of steel importation from Sweden or other places being necessary. Okay, yes, you can have supplies. You would give them money for rare materials. Yeah. Yes, you can have energy. Yes, Bulgaria. Let's look at diplomacy with Sweden here. Let's go back to the name. I can find sometimes things just I think faster. Okay, they're only 9 improved. Maybe they should get a steel bonus here. Where else? Maybe Romania should get a crude oil bonus. Maybe they're just selling it all. Why does it do that? Okay, one, quite honestly, I have been worried about TRE giving Germany too many bonuses. And I figured the best place, because it's sort of too easy to say invade France particularly, that's a doomed nation in this game, and as it should be. Britain might have been a good place to give some bonuses to industrially, but it was sort of safe to give them some counterbalancing bonuses. Plus, this is where, like, New Haven, Connecticut is where Colt is. They made lots of the firearms and other places. So I found places that had 0 industry and gave them some industry based upon some of that stuff. Now, we can't quite see the levels because it's just showing whether there is or isn't industry there. That is sort of why I put it to other places on multiple reasons. Okay, Soviet offer. We give them fuel. Yes, you can have fuel. Yes, we'll do that. Radio for every house. Yes. If I zip up faster than that, we just end up having to pause it a lot faster. Okay, now we're in a bit of a positive with coal. I was partially the reason I didn't go out and buy some is because when some of the stuff is put on the map, it has to go through, shall we say, the bomb damage type thing to get it back up as part of it. And I don't know if that's all the case here in some of the stuff. We give them money for rare materials. Yeah, right. We are not going to do the heavy railway guns right now. Sorry, IKB. Yeah, we'll do that. We give them fuel in exchange for money, sure. Now we can reduce that down. That's already at parity. Okay, we need to radically increase. I like that. Okay, that's doing good. TRE affects much more than just Germany. It affects Italy. There's a bunch of events for Italy. Some events for Manchuria. You know, there's a bunch of other stuff that you don't see that goes on unless you're playing those countries, yes. And for those watching, not live now, stay right where you are, but watching on YouTube, we're going to be ending this episode. Check back next time for more Hearts of Iron. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the videos. Love to hear your comments about any of the topics we're discussing, or if you just have other questions, I will at least attempt to answer them. I may not be able to, but thanks so much, everyone.